What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 1s to look at. The Air Jordan 1 the Retro. Now this is the High 85. Now this is the Bred colorway. Before we get to the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So first and foremost, just looking at the box, understand that this is not a retail release. This sneaker was actually gifted to me from the folks over at Developer Born. And Developer Born, like pretty much like what they actually wanted to do like with this release, they actually just kind of just wanted to give us like that original Air Jordan 1 kind of like, you know, build on the sneaker like when it was released back in 1985. And for the most part, like I feel like, you know, the materials and everything that's on this sneaker is very consistent with the original Air Jordan 1s. They were released back in 1985. The shaping and everything, excellent. I just feel like this is actually a great sneaker. So definitely thank you, Developer Born, for like, you know, gifting me the sneaker so I can get it on the channel to review for you guys. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So like the box, of course, is not going to be like, you know, the Nike branding, your typical Air Jordan 1 box. It's just like, you know, it has Developer Born's like, you know, logo. And of course, like, you know, they do have like your size and like, you know, kind of like, you know, like a box tag. So Developer Born, there you go. That's the top of the box. And it is a swing box lid situation. Now, as you do a 360 around the box, you do see more of like, you know, Developer Born's, you know, branding. The bottom portion of the box, not really too much going there. It's just all brown at the bottom, just your cardboard. And that's just pretty much it. There you go. Now, do they have a box label on here? I guess the box label is just the one that's on top. So it just says Developer Born. It says they're the maker. Developed by Boring Studio, remade by Boring Studio. Name Bred 1985. It has my size and everything in production time. And then I guess like, you know, it has like their link tree information, and that's pretty much it. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So again, it's a swing box lid situation. Now up underneath, they kind of give you like, you know, some insight to like, you know, the process on how the sneaker was actually, you know, developed and made. So it is all blue, and of course, like, you know, it has like, you know, the hits of like, you know, it basically just showing you like the build out of an actual sneaker as if it was like, you know, being handcrafted or made like, you know, in the factory. So let me go ahead and give you guys a close up on that. I feel like that's an excellent touch. And I've actually seen these sneakers online for a while now. A few times I've seen a few other sneaker reviewers have this sneaker, and they did feature it on their pages. So yeah, when I had the conversation with Developer Born, I was just like, hey, I just wanted to go ahead and get this one on the channel to, you know, review for the gang. And I have featured them on the channel before. So again, I want to thank them for being like, you know, a partner of mine. But yeah, man, excellent quality, excellent material. Like I said, I feel like this is very consistent with how the Air Jordans were made and constructed back in 1985. It's not like a high OG cut. It's actually the High 85 cut. If you guys don't understand, there is a difference. But yeah, man, excellent leather, excellent quality materials. I don't really see like any flaws on this one at all. But let's go ahead, let's dig into it. Air Jordan 1 Retro, High 85. And again, this is the Bred colorway. So let's take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. From first observation, again, I understand like it's that High 85 cut. It's not like, you know, the high OG, so it is cut just like how the actual Air Jordan 1s were crafted back in the 80s. So again, what a sneaker is composed of all leather. So you do have like, you know, hits of the red dot leather and black throughout the entire sneaker. On the lateral side, First and foremost, let's take a look at this Nike swoosh here in that red dot leather. And of course, like, you know, it does have the red stitching. Behind it, you do have like the hit of this black leather. The black leather is consistent, like, you know, throughout all panels on the sneaker, even around here, like going around the laces, going toward the front toe area, you do see that black dot leather. Going toward the heel of the sneaker, you actually see, you know, some of that red dot leather there. The top panel here, you do see is dyed in red, and you do have the Air Jordan wings logo there in black. Now, one thing that I want to point out to you guys that's a little bit different from, like, you know, the high OG versus the 85 cut, the midsole is actually a little bit different, and they did give us that midsole there and that white, and you do see, like, you know, the red showing up from like up underneath, and then around the ankle collar you do have more of that black dot leather, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all there is to notate on this side. So let's go ahead, switch things over, going toward the front toe box area. So like for the toe box, first and foremost, just like most Air Jordan 1s, it is perforated, so you do have, like, you know, the hole cuts there for, like, you know, airflow and ventilation through the sneaker. You do have this black dot leather mud guard situation, and it is, like, you know, it does have the black stitching, and that is consistent throughout the entire sneaker itself. Now, typically Air Jordan 1s, they do come, like, you know, unlaced, but they did give us a few lace options on this sneaker. The default laces are the black. They're here to stay with mine, but they did give us, like, you know, a few lace options, and I'll definitely go ahead and show those to you real quick. So they actually give you these flat white laces here, and then they actually got a pair of the flat red laces. The red laces are a pretty decent option too. Really, you can't go wrong with either one of them. I just feel, for me, the black flat laces are, you know, pretty good for me. I don't really foresee a reason to go, you know, too far left from that. Now, the tongue of the sneaker, it is composed of, like, you know, this nylon mesh material, and that is consistent with most Air Jordan 1 sneakers. I do feel like to the touch, it does feel like a little bit more padded than most Air Jordan 1s, so it's a little bit thicker. On the top here, you do have this black tag here, and it does have the Nike Air branding there. Behind the tongue on the back side, it is all white, and they do have, like, you know, the black border there. Just wanted to point that out to you guys. The inside of the sneaker pretty much is all black. Now, one thing I did want to point out to you, one thing that they did a little bit different. Now, again, this is developer born sneaker. This is not a Nike release. Now, typically with your Air Jordan 1s on the Breds, you would have, like, you know, the same kind of situation here, like where they have, like, the size of the sneaker, and then they have, like, when it was produced and things like that. Now, on this sneaker, they just switched it up, and they just kind of put, you know, the size, which mine is a size 13, and then it says custom by DB, which is developer born. I just felt like that was a pretty, you know, decent touch. I mean, it's their, you know, sneaker, so it is what it is. Moving the laces out the way, I want to get you guys a glimpse of the inside of the sneaker. So again, it's all black. Now, I'm not going to pull the insole out, but on the insole of the sneaker, typically, like, it would be white with the, like, you know, Nike branding, but developer born, they put, like, you know, their branding on the insole of the sneaker. Pretty solid touch, man. Like, I'm here for it, man. Like, I feel like sometimes people, I get it, like, you want, especially when you're dealing with, like, you know, custom sneakers, you want to keep try to keep the sneaker as close to, like, you know, retail as possible. But I just felt like, yeah, man, that was a good touch for developer born, just to kind of, like, you know, let people know to put some respect on their name, because they're doing some things over there. But going towards the medial side of the sneaker, pretty consistent with most Air Jordan 1s. Now, they do have the red dot leather here on the back panels. You got the red Nike swoosh, and then, of course, you got the black dot leather around the lace loops going toward the front toe box area and everything. And again, like, it's pretty consistent with the other side, just like any other Air Jordan 1. Nothing too different to notate there. You do have this hit of white along the midsole, and again, the midsole is, like, you know, when that high 85 build, and then you do see, like, that hit of red showing up from the up underneath from the outsole, and that's pretty much it for the medial side. Going towards the back, you just see, like, your red dot leather, red dot panels of leather. Then you do have like, you know, this red tab there with the red stitching, and that is consistent with most Air Jordan 1s. Up top, you do have that black dyed leather going around like the ankle collar, and then of course toward the bottom you can see like, you know, the white midsole showing from up underneath, and that's pretty much it. The bottom portion of the sneaker, just like any other Air Jordan 1, nothing really too different to notate. It's just that you have like, you know, that Chicago red on this sneaker, and you do have the circular traction up top, and then like, you know, the pretty much standard Air Jordan 1 traction, and then like you do have like the Nike branding there smack dead in the middle. And that is pretty much it for this sneaker. The left sneaker, not too different, well, nothing too much different from like, you know, the right. Excellent sneaker, man. Like I feel like the execution on this one, and it's supposed to be like, you know, like a custom handcrafted situation with this sneaker. So when I say that they knocked this out the park, man, it looks just like, you know what, like how a Bred Air Jordan 1 would look. I love the fact that they gave us like, you know, this high 85 cut, because this is something that like, you know, the game's been missing for quite some time. But yeah, man, excellent sneaker. If I were to rate this one, I would go ahead and give this one a 10 out of 10. I love that, you know, that Bred colorway. Of course, like, you know, it's in that Chicago Bulls color blocking. So anytime like, you know, Jordan Brand gives us a sneaker of like, you know, that black, red, and white color blocking, you know, they gonna win every time. As far as sizing, nothing too different from any other Air Jordan 1. Like, you know, it's very low to the ground, not really like too much like, you know, as far as like comfort on the sneaker, like, you know, you're not gonna get it from an Air Jordan 1. It fits just like an Air Jordan 1. As far as sizing, I feel like you should stick true to size. I don't really foresee a reason for you to want to go up or down like a half size or anything. But definitely you want this in your collection. I definitely want to give a shout out to Developer Born. I definitely encourage you guys to stay engaged with me like always. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a 360 and the B-roll like always. But there you go. Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred from Developer Born. So there's the front of the sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right. Lateral side of the left. There's your bottom. And again, it looks just like any other Air Jordan 1. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there's the rear. So of course, you know, you got your hourglass shape. So yeah, man, they got this one together, man. They knocked this one out the park, 10 out of 10. Again, thank you to Developer Born for, you know, gifting me this sneaker so I can get on the channel to review for you guys. But until next time, see you later.